Have you ever come across these videos on YouTube?
Here are the 5 books. I buy about 50 books a year.
The first book I tell anybody to read.
In regards to books, I read Rich Dad Poor Dad.
How many books do you read a year?
Key book.
Yeah, those ones. So one day I just thought to myself, okay, since these guys endorse reading so much, I look up to this guy, so why don't I do what they do? So I made a early New Year resolution. I decided that I was going to start something new. I'm going to read one book for each week for the rest of this year, and I'm going to do it like a series, and it's going to be called the Book Lounge with Joseph, okay? Because I'm Joseph. So I'm going to create a series of videos where I talk about the books I read for each week. I'm going to upload them on this channel. This week, the book I read is Nimue, Freeing Merlin by Ayn Cates Sullivan. Yeah, so this book is actually about Nina. Okay, she's your average 17-year-old American girl. She lost her dad recently, and her mom Diana plans a trip to the UK because they have British roots, you know, to actually get closure from her dad's death. So back in the US, Nina has been having these weird dreams where she see a woman in a green dress who calls her Mage. So when they get to the UK and they go live with her uncle, Nina meets a seer woman called Ganidia. So this woman is supposed to be Merlin's sister, okay? Fast forward to later, Nina gets kidnapped by a different woman entirely called Morgan. And you might know her as Morgana, you know, the evil sister of King Arthur, the Legend of King Arthur, yeah, Merlin, the series. So this woman tells Nina that she's not Nina, she's actually Nimue, okay? Nimue is a sorceress, a powerful witch from like centuries ago. And she imprisoned Merlin in a tree, and it was time for her to free Merlin from his tree prison. And Nina can't remember any of these things, okay? It happened so far back in her past, and she has to relive her life as Nimue, where she learns everything about how she became a powerful sorceress, how she met Merlin, how she, you know, eventually put him in the tree, so she can be able to free him, because that's our life mission. I might be a little bit biased here because naturally I love Celtic myth. I love reading stories about King Arthur, about Merlin. So reading this book for me was like a pleasure. Right? I really enjoyed reading it because the normal about Celtic novels is they kind of like draw you into the story where you're like an onlooker witnessing the initiation of powerful mages or the wild out of the underworld guys or Merlin sorcery magic things. Right? There was a particular thing that actually stood out in this book, right? The romance. So Nimue, she fell in love with Merlin, and like they were properly lovers. But that part was very, very interesting to read because, you know, it's kind of changed the whole experience, made it really interesting and all. Yeah, and the story, it kind of like mixed reality with legend. Right? See, Nina is a normal girl, right? She's 17-year-old American, lives a normal life, she's just having these weird dreams. And Morgan just comes out of nowhere to tell her that she's supposed to be a powerful mage, a sorceress who has powers to imprison Merlin in a tree. And Nina is like, don't you need to see your psychiatrist? Because what are you talking about? So that's just something that made the story seem realistic a bit. So one last thing, this book had a glossary at the end of it, okay? A glossary where it showed you like the meaning of Celtic words, Greek words, Atlantean words, yeah. So when I say Shoshan, you know what I mean? It's Celtic. There was nothing really screaming bad about this book, alright? So I did enjoy it very much. But one thing, it's a Celtic myth book, right? So there's a lot of Celtic words, like I said, for Atlantean sentences actually in it, Greek words. So it's had a glossary, but still, those words, reading past them was kind of like a challenge in itself. Red flags, there's nothing significantly a red flag in this book, to be honest, alright? It's had a great flow, and I didn't find many grammatical errors in it, like only 2 errors, and it had a great script, so it was a perfect book. Well, hold up, you know, I said there was some romance in the book, right? But that romance led to some shenanigans, so there's a sexual content in this book, so be warned. So if you've watched the series Merlin, or you're fascinated with Celtic myths, legends, Legend of the King Arthur, fighting dragons and stuff, yeah, this book is kind of like the best thing for you right now, because it's like mixing historical fiction, romance, Celtic culture, magic in one big cauldron, which gives you this book. So if you want to read it, you can check it out on Barnes & Noble, where it's a bestseller, or Amazon. Just type the name in the search button and you get it. So don't forget, this is actually a series, and every week I'm going to be uploading a new video of each book I read here on this channel. So if you enjoyed this one and you don't want to miss out on the future feeds, smash that subscribe button right now and tap on that little bell beside it so you can be the first to get my videos whenever I upload them. Till next week.